developing tonight. Historic storm. Rain, snow, and ice threatening the weekend holiday rush. Millions of Americans under weather alerts right now. We're tracking your forecast. Claiming responsibility. ISIS says it's behind a deadly terror attack in the UK. What we're learning tonight about the suspect. The clock is ticking. The impeachment inquiry forges ahead. House Democrats now inviting President Trump to testify. The new deadline for the White House. Step into the future. The new technology aimed at keeping you safe when you fly. And the United Stand happening tonight on a football field in California.
We have so much more to play for than just football.
This is the CBS Weekend News.
Good evening, I'm Chris Van Cleve. Tonight, nearly the entire country is feeling the impact of a historic storm. Blizzard-like conditions hammered parts of South Dakota, where at least one person died. 10 inches of snow fell in Rapid City alone. And tonight, 70 million Americans are under weather alerts from California to Maine. The powerful weather system comes right in the middle of the busy holiday travel weekend. We begin with Danya Backus in California.
After a powerful storm dumped rain and snow across the West.
They were telling us for a week we were going to get it, and we got it.
Another is expected this weekend as millions of holiday travelers make their way back home.
The rain was going horizontal, and you could hardly see. The visibility was really, really bad.
In Arizona, the National Weather Service says 3 tornadoes ripped through the Phoenix area Friday, leaving behind a path of debris and destruction. Northeast of Phoenix, 2 children are dead, 1 other missing after a family vehicle was swept away by floodwaters. Wind gusts of up to 90 miles per hour caused whiteout conditions in parts of Colorado. And in Utah,
it was dumping about 1 inch an hour right now.
Snowplow truck drivers were working around the clock to clear roads. California saw up to 4 feet of snow in some areas.
We saw when we got to Sacramento, our ETA kept going up and up.
The weather snarling traffic and causing gridlock for those hoping to beat the holiday rush back home.
Forecasters say Friday was the literal calm before the storm. In Northern California, rain and snow has started and is expected to not let up until Tuesday. Chris?
Danya, thank you. Tonight, this powerful coast-to-coast storm is bringing blizzard conditions to the plains, and it's heading for the Northeast. Millions of Americans can expect major travel delays. Many airlines are already issuing travel waivers. Meteorologist Jeff Baradelli is here. Jeff, break down the timing of this for us.
Yeah, the timing couldn't be much worse. On 2 of the biggest travel days of the year, Sunday and Monday, we have a blizzard transitioning to a nor'easter. So first of all, across the country, a lot of folks are covered right now under winter weather and wind alerts. About 70 million, actually. Thunder, lightning, severe weather in the southeast, but the big story is the blizzard in the upper Midwest. This will be ongoing the rest of the evening and overnight tonight. Look at all of that snow for places like Bismarck, Minneapolis. That slides towards Green Bay tomorrow. There'll also be a little bit of scattered snow across the Ohio Valley, but the big story, the ice storm developing in the Northeast, which will become rain along the coast, then transition back to snow on Monday into Monday night and Tuesday, and the snow could fall heavy at times across portions of the Northeast, especially away from the coast. How much extra snow are we going to see? Probably a solid 6 to 12 inches in the upper Midwest, some places picking up more than that. And in the Northeast, in the major cities, a few to several inches possible, but inland, 1 foot, possibly as high as 18 to 20 inches of snow is possible for the skiers.
It's a lot of snow. Jeff, thank you.
You're welcome.
Tonight, ISIS is claiming responsibility for a deadly terror attack in the UK. Usman Khan stabbed 5 people on London Bridge yesterday. A man and a woman both died. Khan was convicted in 2012 for terrorism offenses. The 28-year-old was initially sentenced to 16 years, but he was released early. Holly Williams has new details.
And all the community knows me. I know terrorist.
That's the London Bridge attacker, Usman Khan, speaking in 2008 after anti-terror police raided his house and before he was convicted on terror charges, part of a group that plotted to blow up the London Stock Exchange. He was on probation after his early release last year and reportedly wearing an electronic monitor. Yet somehow he took the British authorities by surprise.
This is normally one of the busiest bridges spanning the River Thames here in central London. And the attacker set off on his stabbing spree on a Friday afternoon when there were plenty of people around.
This exclusive video from the Daily Mail shows bystanders fighting back with a fire extinguisher and reportedly a narwhal tusk pulled from a display. They tackled him to the ground, and Thomas Gray says he witnessed it all.
Hats off to them, incredibly brave. Sort of chased him down the street with a fire extinguisher, and that's what drew our attention to him.
A plainclothes officer removed his weapon, and the police shot him at close range. He was wearing a fake suicide vest. In a sickening irony, he launched his attack while attending a conference on rehabilitating prisoners. One of his victims was an organiser of the conference, Jack Merritt, described by his father as a beautiful spirit. Today, the British Prime Minister Boris Johnson visited the scene and, like so many people here, asked how this could happen.
It does not make sense for us as a society to be putting terrorist people convicted of terrorist offences, of serious violent offences, out on early release.
Some here have questioned why the attacker wasn't being watched more closely. Earlier this month, the British authorities lowered the terror threat level from severe to substantial. Chris?
Holly Williams, thank you. There's been an arrest in connection with a knife attack in the Netherlands. Police say an unidentified 35-year-old man attacked 3 teenagers yesterday in The Hague. It happened at the height of Black Friday shopping. The victims were treated and released from a hospital. No motive has yet been identified. The search and rescue operation for earthquake survivors in Albania has ended. The death toll stands at 51. At least 2,000 people were injured. The 6.4 magnitude trembler hit last Tuesday. It's the deadliest earthquake ever to rock that country. To Washington now, where House Democrats are moving ahead with the next phase of the impeachment inquiry. On Wednesday, the Judiciary Committee is set to hold its first impeachment hearing. The panel invited President Trump to testify. The White House is yet to respond. The Judiciary Committee will ultimately decide whether to recommend articles of impeachment. Weijia Zhang is traveling with the president in Florida.
President Trump is quietly wrapping up the Thanksgiving break at his Mar-a-Lago resort, sharing nothing about how he plans to respond to this letter. The House Judiciary Committee will hold its first impeachment hearing on Wednesday. The president has until Friday to decide if his lawyers will participate in the upcoming proceedings.
Where we don't have lawyers, we don't have witnesses, we don't have anything.
Mr. Trump has long argued the process is unfair, even calling it a sham, because he claims Democrats have too much control over it. But President Trump has also tweeted that he would consider testifying. Even though I did nothing wrong and don't like giving credibility to this no due process hoax, I like the idea. Democratic Congresswoman Debbie Dingell.
I hope the president does participate in the Judiciary Committee hearings, that he has his counsel there, so we see a fair, open, transparent process.
The president himself won't even be in town when the new phase of the impeachment inquiry begins, as investigators examine if he abused power by pressuring Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky to investigate his political rivals. On Monday, Mr. Trump is leaving for London to mark the 70th anniversary of NATO at its annual summit. He will attend a reception hosted by the Queen and meet with world leaders, including Emmanuel Macron, who recently criticized President Trump by saying NATO could not rely on U.S. leadership. Defense spending will also be a big talking point after the president decided to slash U.S. contributions to the NATO budget from 22 to 16%.
But today, the ranking Republican on the House Judiciary Committee requested to call additional witnesses for that first hearing on Wednesday. For that particular proceeding, the president has until tomorrow to notify the chairman if he or a lawyer will attend. Chris?
Weijia Zhang traveling with the president tonight. Weijia, thanks. An arrest in connection with a shooting at one of America's biggest malls on Black Friday. Now, police in upstate New York have arrested Kyrie Tro today. He's accused of shooting a man twice in the leg after the two got into a fight at the Destiny USA Mall in Syracuse. Tro faces several charges, including second-degree assault. The victim is expected to be okay. 2 hikers have died at Arches National Park in Utah. A 65-year-old man and a 60-year-old woman were found dead after falling yesterday. A third person, a 30-year-old man, was taken to the hospital. All 3 are believed to be from California. Hundreds gathered in Massachusetts today to bid a final farewell to a World War II veteran. A service was held for 99-year-old Arthur Schroeder, a Bronze Star recipient. People who didn't even know the Army veteran came out to give him a proper goodbye. Community leaders helped make it happen after finding out Schroeder outlived all of his family members. There's much more ahead on the CBS Weekend News. The new technology aimed at keeping you safer in the air. Plus, a truck stop in Wyoming serving up a different kind of cuisine. And football is uniting people in a California community ripped apart by a massive wildfire.
Who's ready for a great ride? Ready to work out my constipation? Let me hear you. Yep, it's been so long.
Let's not talk about constipation. Senecot's natural vegetable laxative ingredient means occasional constipation won't be on your mind.
Keep it moving, people. Am I right? Come on, everybody. Work it out.
Say no more to occasional constipation with clinically proven effective Senecot. Satisfaction guaranteed or your money back.
Constipation can happen all around us. You just need to know where to look. It can happen where people drive. It can happen where people play. It can happen where people exercise. Constipation can even happen where people work. And it happens to all of us. Luckily, there's Colace for gentle relief of occasional constipation. It's the #1 doctor-recommended stool softener brand. Constipation happens. Constipation can happen all around us. You just need to know where to look. It can happen where people drive. It can happen where people play. It can happen where people exercise. Constipation can even happen where people work. And it happens to all of us. Luckily, there's Colace for gentle relief of occasional constipation. It's the #1 doctor-recommended stool softener brand. Constipation happens.
Who's ready for a great ride? Ready to work out my constipation? Let me hear you. Yep, it's been so long.
Let's not talk about constipation. Senecot's natural vegetable laxative ingredient means occasional constipation won't be on your mind.
Keep it moving, people. Am I right? Come on, everybody. Work it out.
Say no more to occasional constipation with clinically proven effective Senecot. Satisfaction guaranteed or your money back.
This weekend, the TSA is bracing for a record number of flyers to pass through airport security checkpoints. AAA says more than 55 million people will travel for Thanksgiving this year. The TSA expects to screen 2.8 million people tomorrow alone. Some will walk through a living laboratory of sorts where the future of aviation security is coming into view. In a field outside Providence, University of Rhode Island researchers are working on new ways to detect and stop explosives popular with terrorists. They're partnering with the Department of Homeland Security on this sensor they call a digital dog nose. It'll soon be the size of a cell phone and mountable on a drone. It will detect homemade explosives as well or better than a bomb-sniffing dog. Professor Otto Gregory.
It's as good as the dog?
As good as a dog. Yes, as good as dog. Now, having said that, dogs get tired and they have a limited attention span. This would be 24/7. It doesn't need to take a break. This can just keep running.
2,700 miles away at this new airport checkpoint in Las Vegas, the TSA's newest technology is being tested together for the first time with real passengers. They call it their innovation checkpoint.
This is a glimpse into the future of what aviation security is going to look like.
TSA's Jose Bonilla.
What we're trying to do is make that a more seamless process for the traveling public, but not giving up on security capability.
Passengers are met with dynamic message boards. New ID readers scan your license to quickly validate your identity and confirm you're flying that day without needing to show your boarding pass. Carry-on bags go to a CT scanner. Electronics can stay in, and eventually the goal is liquids will too. The new scanners can more easily see through all the clutter in bags.
You are now entering a safety zone.
And while it's not quite the scanner from the movie Total Recall, these new walk-by-body scanners display a generic male or female form and flag an area where there may be a concern. The technology is also better at spotting non-metallic threats that a metal detector might miss. Some of that technology is rolling out to airports now. Ahead, the NFL players suspended for betting on football.
Facial hair is a problem for women of all ages, and removing it hurts. Until now. Flawless, the new gold standard in facial hair removal from Finishing Touch, the world's #1 brand. Flawless is designed to be discreet.
This looks like a lipstick, actually a very fancy lipstick.
But inside is the finest engineered technology that removes hair instantly and painlessly with micro precision.
It just takes seconds, really, to get your whole face done.
And with an 18-karat gold-plated head, it's hypoallergenic and gentle on all skin types and tones. Flawless is the fastest, easiest, pain-free way to remove unwanted facial hair, guaranteed.
I'm able to get the smoothness of waxing without pain or redness.
A built-in light makes it easy to see and remove every single hair from your upper lip, cheek, or chin. No nicks, burns, or irritation. Just perfectly smooth, flawless skin.
I have little tiny hairs all over my face. Flawless is really effective. Without that peach fuzz, my skin is so smooth. My makeup goes on flawlessly.
Discreet and portable, so you're always prepared when hairs pop up out of nowhere. And unwanted hair won't grow back thicker. Flawless is so effective it can remove hair from anywhere, yet gentle and safe to the touch.
I love that I really don't have to wait. There's no in-between times between when the hair grows back. I can use it every day if I want.
Flawless, the new gold standard from the experts in facial hair removal, Finishing Touch.
It is so smooth. It's as if there wasn't hair there to begin with.
Call 1-800-886-1217 or go to finishingtouchflawless.com and get yours for only $19.99 with a 60-day money-back guarantee. Order right now and your shipping is free.
It's like my little secret.
Flawless. It's the other lipstick you won't want to be without.
The race for the White House heats up. Democratic hopeful Cory Booker joins us. Plus, our Thanksgiving book panel takes on the theme of presidents and patriotism. Face the Nation Sunday.
Black Friday is in the record books. The busy shopping day saw $7.4 billion in online sales. That's the second largest online sales day ever. Black Friday was the biggest day ever for mobile shopping. $2.9 billion in sales came from smartphones alone. But brick and mortar stores saw a noticeable decline. Shopper visits decreased by 3% when compared to the same time last year. The NFL has suspended Arizona Cardinal Josh Shaw for allegedly betting on games. The league says it has no evidence he used inside information or compromised any games. The NFL also says they have no evidence the team knew Shaw was betting on games this season. The cornerback has not played since suffering a shoulder injury during training camp. And some good news for Detroit tonight. The United Auto Workers and Fiat Chrysler have reached a tentative agreement on a new contract. The deal includes a total of $9 billion in investments and a $9,000 bonus for workers. The contract still needs final approval from employees. This follows similar deals with GM and Ford. A taste of India on the interstate. Ahead, Jim Axelrod takes a pit stop along one of the nation's most traveled roads.
The hottest new razor is taking the men's grooming world by storm. And if you don't have it, you need it. Micro Touch Solo, the hyper-advanced full-body razor that trims, shapes, edges, and even shaves with micro precision. And it's totally safe to the touch. Go solo for full body control with one tool. No nicks, bumps, or ingrown hairs. Edge beards and goatees with one touch. Clean your neck, barber shop perfect. And check this out. Snap on the guide to tame growth and perfectly shape your full beard. And keep new growth stubble trimmed exactly to your style. And look, the Solo Full Body Groomer trims precisely the length of hair you want. Snap off the guide and remove unwanted hair anywhere in seconds. What makes Solo different than your ordinary razor? Dual-sided German stainless steel blade. Shave up or down at 200 microstrokes per second. The Ultra Flex pivoting head contours perfectly to you for precise results. 3 custom grooming guides for control of exact length and shape. And a built-in LED light so you never miss a spot. Solo is so precise, you need no creams, no soaps, and no water. Ditch the old man clippers and toss the scissors. you've got to go solo. Call 1-800-761-1393 or go online at microtouchsolo.com and get yours now for only $19.99. Complete with German stainless steel blade, pivoting head, built-in spotlight, and 3 custom grooming guides. Everything you see here for just $19.99. The all-new MicroTouch Solo Full Body Groomer. The one tool that does it all.
Truck stops are known to serve simple cuisine like hamburgers and fries, but as Jim Axelrod reports for Sunday Morning, at one truck stop in Wyoming, an unlikely dining adventure begins.
What do you suggest?
Behind this hole in the wall, at this hole in the wall in Laramie, Wyoming, is a you-won't-believe-it situation from the world of truck stop cuisine. The Indian food Mintu Pander and his staff are cooking up in this small kitchen off exit 290 on I-80.
This smells like we're in Mumbai, not in Laramie.
Not in Laramie, no doubt.
Just a few feet away from the motor oil, the military hats, the trucker shirts.
You can smell
that's
it
a
off.
very familiar smell for Indian food.
That's it.
That's what
Our
that
storage shelves full of turmeric, coriander, and other spices maybe you haven't heard of.
This is a leaf. It's called kasuri methi. I mean, if you start putting this on, you will not eat anything without it.
There's a rice steamer with no off switch, an always full pot of chai, and the soul of any Indian kitchen, a clay oven, the tandoor.
The tandoor, the flavor goes in the meat, not out of the meat. Like if you put it in a grill, everything kind of drips down. This way the heat is all around. It's surrounded by the heat.
When Pander bought this truck stop in 2014, it came with a griddle for hot dogs and hamburgers.
That's all you need? That's all I need. All right, thank you.
But figuring truckers could get those up and down I-80, he went with a menu they wouldn't find anywhere else.
Did they ever come in and say, all you got is Indian food, and I want meatloaf, I want a hamburger, I want a strip steak?
So then we tell them, hey, try this. You're going to have that on the next stop anyway.
You have all this today or what?
Good.
Yeah?
From cross-country truckers.
I don't know how to rate it,
1 to 10.
I mean, I'd say it's probably, good 9. I mean.
How's it going? To locals like Sheriff's Deputy Bill Yates.
If this is the area I'm patrolling, I know where I'm going to stop to eat lunch.
Mintu's food has been a hit. Deputy Yates is partial to both the yellow curry and the broader field of vision that comes with it.
It's bringing the world here, rather than keeping our world small.
Strictly speaking, the restaurant accounts for a small part of Mintu's revenue. Strictly speaking.
I would say 5 to 10% at the most, 10%.
So why bother?
This is not a whole picture of the food. The people come in, get fuel, other stuff. So they would come in and spend $500–600 in fuel because they know they can get their meal they desire from last 800 miles here.
No surprise for you that you can recreate all that stuff in the middle of a truck stop on I-80?
Well, that was the plan, so we succeeded.
All it took was for Mintu Pander to trust his gut and those of hungry truckers driving by. Jim Axelrod, CBS News, Laramie, Wyoming.
All right, who's hungry? Ahead, how a California community is coming together 1 year after a devastating wildfire.
Every woman wants beautiful brows, so we tweeze, we thread, and we rip. But now there's Flawless Brows from Finishing Touch, the new gold standard and first precision hair remover that instantly and painlessly sweeps away unwanted hair for stunningly beautiful brows. Hold it like a pencil, use it like an eraser.
I see a hair that I don't want and I'm able to erase it.
Because inside Flawless Brows precision hair removal tip is the finest engineered technology that erases unwanted hair with micro precision. Perfectly balanced for perfect control between the brows, above, below, even toward the hairline.
I have very sensitive skin, so Flawless Brows is perfect for me because it's so gentle and it's so precise. It's not going to take more hair than I'm targeting.
And with an 18-karat gold-plated head, it's hypoallergenic and gentle on all skin types.
This was just so easy, so painless. It just erases the hair away.
Flawless Brows is the fastest, easiest, pain-free way to have beautiful brows every day, guaranteed.
One of my favorite things is I don't have to wait for the hair to grow out like you do with waxing.
It's a solution to an otherwise daily battle. I just see it and take it right off.
A built-in LED light makes it easy to see and erase unwanted hair. Discreet and portable, so you can use it anytime, anywhere.
I can do it myself whenever I want. For quick touch-ups, it's perfect.
Flawless Brows is precision hair removal that's gentle and safe to the touch.
It's painless, easy to control, fast to use, super safe, and it's so pretty. I mean, it's perfect.
Call 1-800-944-5750 or go to getflawlessbrows.com and get yours for only $19.99 with a 60-day money-back guarantee. Order right now and get free shipping.
It just erases the hair away.
Flawless Brows, only from Finishing Touch.
These ancient churches were carved from a block of stone, and pilgrims have been traveling to them for centuries.
Who are these pilgrims?
The Mystery of Lalibela, Sunday.
Finally tonight, flames tore their community apart, but Friday Night Lights are helping bring it back together. Jonathan Vigliotti now on the high school football team, one step closer to a state championship.
On this Friday night, lights shine on a 12-0 team, not because of its winning record, but because of the loss it's had to overcome to get here.
We have so much more to play for than just football.
It's been a year since the most destructive wildfire in California history ripped through Paradise, killing 86 people and destroying about 14,000 homes.
The front door would be right there.
Most of the players, including running back Lucas Hartley, lost everything. Like many others, his family had to leave the area. Last year's team was forced to forfeit their season and faced an uncertain future.
Nobody wants to tell the victim story anymore. Everyone wants to tell the story about moving forward.
To do that, they returned to the field, many driving 40 minutes each way to get to practice.
There's still only 3 kids living in Paradise. Football brings some normalcy for them, so they want to win, they want to be successful, and it gives them kind of an escape from all the other issues that are going on from being displaced from the fire.
After the fire, it's more of a motivation to come out and have our town on our backs and then prove that after everything that's happened that we can come back stronger than we were before.
And their dedication to the game is re-energizing their community.
To see them play with the heart that they're playing with, it's fantastic.
We have something to prove. It's incredible how many people have been coming out to the games. We show up to games an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours away, and we'll go and pack the visitors' sideline and bring more people than the home team sometimes.
That support has helped push them to a perfect season. Win or lose this Saturday, these teens have already become hometown heroes.
It just gives people hope that we can rebuild. It gives people hope that they can come back and live their lives here again. And those who can't come back, it just gives them a little piece of what they lost.
Jonathan Vigliotti, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Hometown heroes for sure. The Paradise Bobcats take on the Sutter Huskies tonight in the Division III championship game at 7 o'clock. Good luck, Bobcats. That's the CBS Weekend News for this Saturday. Later tonight on CBS 48 Hours. I'm Chris Van Cleve in New York. Thanks so much for joining us. Good night.